Welcome, everybody. We are so excited that you have joined us today. Boy, are you in for a treat. We have a very special guest with us this morning, actually two of our main speakers that are going to be talking to us today, but we're going to get to hear from Laura Evans, who went from corporate executive to master coordinator. Also, Sarah Galbraith is going to be sharing about her recent growth, but we are excited. And here's our strategy team. I love working with these ladies each week, and I think two of these ladies are headed to the New Directors Conference this week, Francine and Angie. And I think Ashley, Katie, and Michelle and I have already been there before, but we are excited about being able to work together and present this information to you. So let's just look at our objectives for today, because this is a really cool session. We're really going to talk about understanding the power of what we have in our compensation plan, in our dream plan, and how we can share it with others. I want you to know that this compensation plan that we have was created after 5 years of intensive research and analysis. And that's just really important for us to know that a lot of things were checked out, were worked through, 5 years is a long time to be working on a plan. And so how great that we can benefit from the company's efforts in that. And today we're going to hear from our guest, Master Coordinator Laura Evans. She is a former Senior Executive Vice President of Shaklee and a key player in the introduction of this plan. And so I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Then we also have new Senior Coordinator, Sarah Galbraith, who appointed 2 new directors in August. And we want to hear what shifted for her and what she's doing in developing her growing team. And then we're going to look at how we can share the power of the dream plan and what that can mean for our prospective team members. And we can tell these stories. So many times we talk about that we just want to tell people's stories. And so we can share Laura and Sarah's stories that you hear today. So welcome, everybody.
Oh, and there's Laura Evans. So Laura, just say hello to me so I know your voice is there. Oh,
I'm here.
Oh, good.
Makes me feel better when you hear the speaker's voice. Anyway, I just want to tell you, I've asked Laura to walk us through her background, but I just want to tell you, there are one of the things that makes our business so special is the people in the field, our colleagues. It was what Moira was speaking to this morning in our pre-call about how important the community of Shaklee is to all of us. And it's also the people who are in home office. The Shaklee attracts very special people, people who resonate with the philosophy of Shaklee. And Laura was one of those people that we just loved working with her when she was at home office, but she left a very important, prestigious position at Shaklee and had offers to other companies to become the president of their companies. And at the height of her career, she stepped away from that to start a Shaklee business because she was so familiar with all the benefits, all the promises of the Shaklee Dream Plan. And we thought this is a very important message for all of us to understand what it was that she saw that we have laying before us. And so I cannot tell you, Laura, what an honor it is to have you with us. And I'm going to turn this over to you because Laura is on a time crunch because she's got to get her son off to school. So Laura, please take it away and tell us about your perspectives on this.
Thank you, Barb. Well, I would do anything for Barb Lagoni and all of you that I know that are listening on the call that I've been privileged to be introduced to through Barb and the team that's growing and growing and growing that you're building there. So this is an honor and just a privilege for me to be able to share a little bit about my story and about why I chose and made the decision that I made. As Barb so nicely introduced me. It was a wonderful introduction. But for those of you that may not be familiar with me, I wanted to just step back and give you a little bit more of a background I was, as she said, I was Senior Executive Vice President of Shaklee for 10 years. I was in charge of North America. Roger actually hired me when he purchased the company. He was looking for a management team even before he purchased the company, and we met at a Direct Selling Association event. I had served on the board of directors for the Direct Selling Association for years, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. So he was already assembling and looking for his team before he bought the company. So that's a little bit of vision of what Roger Barnett had. And as such, I really became his kind of right-hand person because we were focused a lot on some things that we were doing in North America and really a lot of the things you see evidence of today. We rebranded a lot of the products, but we also worked on the Dream Plan, which I'm going to talk about a little bit too. But first, I want to go through the Direct Selling Association. In case you're not familiar with it, the Direct Selling Association, which is DSA.org, is located, based out of Washington, D.C., because it's an organization that represents our benefits and privileges from a tax and business and law perspective, how we do business. As such, it attracts members who want to adhere to a code of ethics. So companies that say, we want to work together to improve the image of our industry of network marketing and multi-level marketing. We do not want to represent or to condone or accept or tolerate any behavior that is not respectful, considerate to consumers and to distributors. And so we band together as a group to set a code of ethics bar. And I will say Heather Chastain is very involved in this background as well. And that's where she and I initially met, was through the Direct Selling Association. And she served on the board of the Code of Ethics. So she's really committed to that as well. So as such, I met and I knew the owners and CEOs of a bunch of different companies that are in our industry who are trying to do the right thing, who want to treat consumers right and want to treat their distributors right. But membership is not a given. Membership is a privilege, and it goes through approval. You have to be approved for membership there, and they evaluate what your policies and your practices are and your products are and your compensation plan to be sure that you are meeting that code of ethics standard. So that is what the Direct Selling Association is, and it's important that you know a little bit about that. When I joined Shaklee, one of the first and main things that we were involved in that Roger tasked us with was looking at the history of Shaklee and what some of the growth patterns had been, and the company had been through a lot of changes over the long term of it. And looking at how could we develop the best compensation plan in the world. Not could we just make a couple of little changes and get by, but how could we develop the best compensation plan in the world that appealed to families and entrepreneurs and people who didn't know that they wanted to be a family or an entrepreneur. And not only that, but in true Roger Barnett visionary style, he wanted it patented so that no one could copy our compensation plan. And obviously, we weren't able to copy anybody else's because we were going to get it patented, which we did. So as a result, we spent years of researching every plan that was out there and tearing it apart. And we hired specialists that are just number crunchers that come in and break plans and maximize plans and determine the payout and the reward and where's the risk of where it's going to break down. And the worst thing you could ever have happen is have a company that has such a lucrative compensation plan that they can't afford to be in business. And unfortunately, sometimes startup companies get themselves caught in that. They don't know what they're doing with their compensation plan well enough, and it looks really beautiful. But once people start performing and once you put a large number of people through it, the plan breaks down. And then the company either has to change their plan to something very unattractive, or they go out of business altogether. So that's one of the things that that we absolutely want to, be careful of and look out for. So I want to say that some of our objectives in developing the Dream Plan that you're familiar with is that we also purposefully wanted to compensate at every level. We wanted it to be rewarding and kind of an equal opportunity at every level. One of the dangers of a lot of compensation plans is that it only rewards the top. And that's one of the myths that you kind of hear of in our industry against network marketing and some of those other words that people use to describe our industry that are unflattering, is because they feel like, or they've been exposed to a plan and a company that really all the rewards that they show you are great, but you can only get them when you're at the top, which is why we very purposefully were one of the only companies to put cars at a senior director level. We were the first to say we want families to be attracted to this plan, and offsetting your family budget with a car bonus and being able to promote your business at the same time is really what we were going for. So we added lifestyle with the trips into the plan and the fast track bonuses married into that. And we really had what we would call a hybrid. We have a hybrid plan that took the best of the best practices that we saw, put our own Shaklee formula to it, and created a patented plan, which in particular affects the True Infinity bonus. How we handle the True Infinity bonus is so unique and so rewarding for a lifetime in the way that it pays out, that it never stops paying out, that we were able to get that patented, that you will only ever see that and some other aspects of the Shaklee plan at Shaklee. So that's something really unique. And it was all of those things that would probably, lead to what you might want to ask me, which is, with everything that I know about the industry and everything that I know from a professional standpoint and some of the other opportunities that I had to do from a professional career standpoint, what did I know about the future that caused me to say, I'm going to, get out of a solid, steady corporate job, and I'm going to do something a little, unheard of, and go build my own business. In fact, I'm the only corporate executive at any company in our industry that has ever done that and been successful. It's unlikely that you'll ever see someone do that. You see it the other way. You see a field person who thinks they know everything and they want to build a business, and that's usually very difficult because running a business from an operations standpoint as a corporation is very different than building a business as a field leader. So you'll see it go the other way. But, it really says something. You hear that saying about you can't pick your family. Well, in this case, I did choose my family. I chose to stay with my Shaklee family with all the stuff and the history and the great times and the not so great times or anything, whatever I knew about everything I knew about the industry, about other companies, and about Shaklee, having lived with my family for 10 years where you can't hide anything. The honeymoon's over after 10 years for sure. Then I chose to build with Shaklee. So why is that? Well, it's because I, like many of you, I have what's called FOMO, fear of missing out. I don't know whether you are motivated by that or not, but I see such incredible growth with the potential and the future for this patented dream plan that we have is so great and so compelling that I didn't want to miss out on it. And you see, as a corporate employee, you don't have ownership of a business. So when growth happens, you might get a little raise here or a little bonus there, but you don't have anything to give to your children. You don't have any business that you can will or pass on. And I saw that growth coming, that we were at the right time and that everything was being set up for it. That I went to Roger and said, it's time to work on my exit strategy. I'm ready to go. I want to go out and build my business. I have been itching to do that ever since I had amazing results from the Shaklee products, like my own weight loss turnaround and my children's health improving. So we worked on an exit strategy where I'd be able to replace myself and build a strong team and walk away from the corporate position into the field. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about what was I looking for in terms of a company? Because you see, the decision of leaving corporate America and going to build a business, well, I could have chosen to have gone anywhere. But what did I know about Shaklee, and what was I looking for in a company that Shaklee met the criteria as to why I chose to stay in the Shaklee family? So I have really a checklist of what I look for in terms of a company that I want to build my future, my children, my grandchildren's future with. So it's a pretty stern and high bar checklist, but it includes these primary categories, and we're going to dig down into each one of them. First of all, quality of products was really paramount for me. I can't sell something I don't believe in. I can't represent something I don't believe in. I can't refer somebody to something I don't believe in. The next thing was, I've seen so many companies that the philosophy and the values just did not match my own. And it was really important to me that I find a company that had the same philosophy and values that I did, believed in the golden rule, treated people fairly, were there for the right reasons, and just shared, my overall philosophy about health and about building a business. And then also longevity and stability. That was super important to me. I've been around this industry for so long. I've seen so many companies come and go, and it was really, and I've had it happen to me myself. I worked at a company that was around for 17 years and doing great, and then poof, it was gone one day, completely out from under us. So it was important to me that I wanted to build it once and have a business that had longevity and stability. But then equally important, because sometimes longevity and stability is kind of stale, but equally important was that it had dynamic growth potential. And so we're going to talk about that. So let's go into product quality first. Now, the cool thing about my experience with product quality is, yes, I had an amazing turnaround. I went from a size 10 to a size 2. I know these products work. Never lost weight like that before and been able to keep it off. My daughter had amazing results. Each of my children have with the Shaklee products. So I knew the products work. But one of the things that I have an advantage of and experience of that not everybody has out there is that I was in the corporate office for 10 years. I was a main player at the table when some discussions happened, and I saw how the company made decisions based on their philosophy and strategy versus how, sometimes what you do in a boardroom may be different than what you do on stage in front of everybody. And I saw that this company wasn't like that. They were consistent with their values, even when no one was watching. And that's what was important to me. And let me give you a couple of examples. One of the things that I remember that recently came about and was kind of trendy is, a few years ago, this whole boom of business around antibacterial soaps. Everything was antibacterial. And we had some discussions as a sales and marketing team with the science team at Shaklee about, hey, we have a great hand wash. Let's add an antibacterial element to it because that's the thing. Everybody's looking for antibacterial soaps, antibacterial sprays, sanitizers, all that kind of stuff. And it was a robust discussion with the science team because they were very familiar with the research, and the actual real research showed that adding those antibacterial ingredients weakened one's immune system and actually wasn't good for the long run. It was introducing contaminants into your body and on your skin that were unnecessary. That our body has a normal functioning antibacterial immune system when it functions the way it's supposed to. And adding something that was fake and created was going to do more harm than good. So we were like, we're going to miss out on billions of dollars that we could be making off of selling this product because there's such a consumer demand for it. But at Shaklee, the science team is the compass. The science team is the compass that grounds the decisions based on Dr. Shaklee's philosophy from 100 years ago about doing no harm, that we will never do anything that would do any harm. And it's so peaceful to me to know that Shaklee chooses quality over profitability. And that was a real core value that I was looking for in a company that you don't always find. I mean, I saw many times how we would fall into a back order, which means lost sales and lost revenue to a company because one little tiny raw material ingredient didn't pass the Shaklee high standard of what it needed to be. And, then I look out on the landscape at all these other companies that sell products, and they don't even know what's in their products. They may have said, I want you to put, these 3 ingredients in the product, but they don't test what they ordered and what they asked for from where it was made. Versus Shaklee, we test the raw materials before it gets made. Then we test it as it's being made to our specification exclusive formula, which is proprietary to Shaklee, which is something else very special about us, that you can't buy what you're buying from Shaklee from anywhere else. We don't white label something. We don't take something that's available for every other company to buy and then slap our name on the outside of it. Everything we're selling are products that are exclusively formulated by our science team and tested beyond what the minimum standards are. So that's a little bit about the quality of the products important to me. Let's talk about the philosophy and values a little bit more. Every company's compensation plan reflects that company's their sort of philosophy and their values and their purpose. And for us, like I mentioned earlier, Shaklee's philosophy is about caring about other people. The more you share, the greater your share will become. It's Dr. Shaklee's philosophy. And his philosophy is alive and well in the way the company still operates today, 60 years later. And we believe in the golden rule, doing unto others as you'd have them do unto you, not, do as much as you can before somebody else does it to you, or, something like that, or make as much as you can off of everybody else. And it was important to me that we knew when we worked on the dream plan and the compensation plan that what we were designing was something that, just like the product being designed by the science team, would withstand the quality and the philosophy test that were congruent with who Shaklee is and what we're about and what we want to attract, but also be a sustainable, tested business model that had longevity and stability for the future. We wanted there to continue to be a plan that rewarded you for working with whoever you wanted to work with wherever they are. Be careful of companies that only want you to join as a distributor. I love it that Shaklee says and has said, we love you wherever you are. Because we love you. We care about you, the person. We don't care about our numbers. We don't care about dollar signs. We care about you. So if you want to be a customer, be a customer. If you want to be a distributor, be a distributor. If you want to be a business builder, be a business builder. Wherever you are, we love you. And there's no penalties of going from one to the other because life changes and you may change throughout the course of that life. We love you no matter what. That's not the philosophy at every company. The other thing to be careful of is companies that force you to create a matrix type of organization. And what I mean by that is it's not a compensation plan that says you work with wherever the success is happening. That's what we have. We have a plan that says whoever is interested in building, you work with them and they'll get rewarded and you'll get rewarded. Some companies have a forced matrix where they say you have to work with people that are in this leg or that leg, or you need to place people in this leg and you only get paid on that leg. When you see a plan that is over-constructed for you to specifically work only with somebody on the 4th level, for example, or you want to only do, this, and that's the only way you can get rewarded for that, then that might be a red flag to reevaluate what's going on there. So philosophies and values is a really good indicator, and you can see a company's philosophy and values and how they handle products, whether they have 100% money back guarantee, and how they handle their compensation plan, and how they want you to join them. If they only want you to join as a distributor, that's a red flag. Longevity and stability. Let's talk about that for a second. So I found in my over 20 years experience working with direct selling companies that there's a startup cost. A lot of companies start up with great ideas, but not all of them are able to weather the economic and even government regulation changes that happen. Some of those changes over the years can throw them out of business. So I look in terms of my checklist for a company that's been around for at least 20 years. If they haven't been around for 20 years, I'm not comfortable that they're stable enough to be around for another 20. And again, that's based off my experience, and that's not 100% true, but I'm just not interested in the risk. I'm in this to own something and build something once and build it for my family and my family's future. I'm not in it to just, throw a bunch of stuff against the wall and see if it sticks and if it stays in business or not. What I love about Shaklee is Shaklee's consistent. Shaklee's been around for 60 years, one of the oldest companies in the direct selling industry that's never missed a payment to its distributors. And that's important too, because I want that Al Hagerman story of $3,000 a day over 40 years. I mean, that's impressive. It's not so impressive to me to hear, I made $30,000 a month. Well, we've got that too, but that's not so impressive to me. What's impressive to me is, can you do that for 40 years? And that's what I'm looking for, is a company that's been around for a long time, because I want to build multi-generational wealth in terms of what I'm leaving to my family, my children, my children's children. And we have that alive well in Shaklee. That's not just something we promise, that's something we live. I mean, look around at many of the organizations that there's second, there's third, there's fourth, there's even fifth generation people that are building and living off a business that their great-great-great-great-grandmother started, and the business is still flourishing. So I love it that our promises come to life in Shaklee, in terms of how the products work, but also in terms of the compensation plan and the stability of the business. It's not, it's not attractive to me to have here today and kind of gone tomorrow opportunity. It's important for not just the generation wealth building, but for a tax strategy for myself and for my family, my children, and my children's children. That's an important element that I look for too. So, I often say I'm not going to mortgage my children's future on some kind of short-term trend. Stability, longevity, proven consistency, proven results is really important to me. And I want to look for something that's low risk but high reward when it's something I'm going to put my 100% effort into for the rest of my life. So that's longevity and stability. So one of the last ones that I want to talk about, which is not the least by any means, they're all equally important, is the growth potential. So sometimes longevity and stability can feel a little stale or feel a little outdated or feel a little, dusty. But what I love about Shaklee is we have all of the comfort of this solid, stable heritage and base of revenue, that we're not worried about where our funding is going to come from and what if we have a bad month and how are we going to pay the bills. I mean, we're not a startup. We're not worried about that. We've got such a strong business model that's been proven and people that have done it over and over again. But what I love about it is that we have all of the excitement of a startup. We've got Roger Barnett as an owner that's come in and committed his family to this business. I mean, Roger did 5 years of research himself on which company to buy, which I bared witness to. I know that he did that research, and he hired a team because he's Roger and he could do that. I couldn't hire a team, but he hired a team and spent like $20 million or something looking for the perfect company. So it says a lot to me that if he did that, then his commitment to the future of Shaklee, as we all know, is very, very strong and is important. And his vision is so, it's really great to work alongside him because he's always like 10 steps ahead of the global view that he sees for the business and the larger footprint that he sees us reaching people and helping people. So that's really important. And we see that coming to life, especially, for example, with so many of you that are on this phone call. Look at who has been attracted to Shaklee over the last 5 years. Just over the last 5 years, for example, we have a whole new arising of families, of young people, of married couples, of single moms, of men that are entrepreneurs and looking for a plan B. We've got just all this amazing new growth that's happening. We've got tremendous international expansion opportunity. I also think it's important that we not forget we are the #1 natural nutrition company in North America. I can guarantee you that's not just something that the marketing department came up with. Marjorie Fine legally vets that every year. So we should be proud of that. I mean, if you're going to pick a partner, pick the one that's already the best at it. And it's going to continue to be the best at it, that has patented products and patented compensation plans. And we set these amazing high standards for quality assurance, and especially in terms of our products. I mean, we set the bar, and our regulations are what other companies use just as a basis. They don't even go to the extent that we do in terms of the testing and the quality standards that we have. So I just feel like that as we look at the world today and all these recalls that show up on our, like I saw Eggo waffles got recalled today, this morning, or whatever. But as we look at that, I see that more of that is coming. As a consumer group, we're going to get very weary about the lack of regulatory discipline around the vitamins and the products that we're feeding and using with our children. And as a result, I see Shaklee as being the last one standing. We've always known that that was the right thing to do. No one had to tell us it was the right thing to do. We set the bar because it was what Dr. Shaklee believed in. And that makes me proud to represent a company like that and feel good about using it with my family, but referring it to other people. So in closing, Barb, I just wanted to share one of my favorite quotes of all time. And I'm a big believer in our mindset and that our mindset so much sets the pace of what we're going to accomplish. And I want to throw in too that I see my Shaklee business as a business, and we talked a lot about the business aspects today. There's a very personal side as to why I chose to do Shaklee, and you'll see that on that Why I Shaklee video that you'll talk about later. But I want to say that when I talk about my business, I don't always call it a master coordinatorship. I say I'm the CEO of a $3 million health and wellness business, because that's what I was attracted to. I wanted to own a piece of the health and wellness business with the best partner that was out there, America's #1 natural nutrition company. And I've built a $3 million a year business that continues to grow and will double again within the next 2 years. So that's how I frame what I'm doing in terms of my business. And what I learned from Jim Rohn is, you know, we do a lot of activities and we plan a lot of things for what we have with what we have going on with our business and what our goals are. But one of the most important things is who we are and how we conduct ourselves and how we treat other people and how we believe that we are. What do we believe about ourselves and what we are? So that's what this quote sums up for me, is success is not something that you pursue. It's something you attract by the person that you become. And I find that to be so true, is when we become that successful person in our mind, because we've increased our beliefs and because we've set goals and we've worked towards those goals, and because we care about other people, all of those things are part of our mindset that make us attractive to other people saying, I want to do what you're doing. So that's some of my experience and lessons.
Gosh, this is so good. And wow. I promise Laura she'd be out the door and her son isn't looking for school. But I just have to say, I as you're sharing this, I'm thinking, oh, this is a classic. This presentation this morning is something we're going to show every new distributor who comes into our business, because you have such a unique perspective, and it's just a gift to us. Thank you for joining us. This is absolutely spectacular. We got it all recorded. We'll have this up in archive. Everyone's going to be calling Chris saying, "Do you have it up yet? Do you have it up yet?" We will let you run and get to your son. But a very, very big thank you from all of us. And
Yes.
And we're just so proud to know you and have you working alongside of us. And you are just one of those Shaklee treasures. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you are so welcome. I love you all very much, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Some of you I'm going to see at the New Director Conference, so come give me a big hug.
Laura, she's one of the speakers for our New Director people. So, yes, just tell them everything you just told us, Laura.
Okay, bye.
It'll be perfect. Oh, my gosh, that was so wonderful.
Oh, it really was.
Her 2 pieces. Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, as if that wasn't wonderful, then we were thinking that we would also like to be highlighting here on Tuesday mornings business success stories, so we can hear about from the people who are growing and hear what they're doing, what is helping them to grow their businesses. And so Sarah Galbraith I called because last month she developed not 1 but 2 new directors in 1 month. She's got little kids. She's they moved not too long ago, and she has such a story, and I thought she was going to just jump through the phone as she was telling me how much she loves what she does. And so it's very important. She's like the perfect person to follow Laura, because her story is so inspiring. And so did anybody unmute her so we can hear her voice?
I don't know. Yes, she's unmuted.
Hi.
Oh, okay. There she is. Good morning, Sarah, dear. So, everybody, This is Sarah Galbraith, new senior coordinator, and we would like to ask you to share your story and what you have learned on this journey to senior coordinator. And let me just point out that not only did she appoint these 2 new directors, but she is on track for qualifying 2 people for that Playa del Carmen trip, for the new directors conference, and the chairman's retreat. So she is just on the roll. So Sarah, tell us about what you have learned from this, how you were able to build this, and what shifted for you that allowed you to have all this wonderful growth.
Yeah. Bear with me because we are playing a game with my 16-month-old is following me around from room to room, wanting my for my attention, and I just closed the door.
House, right?
And that's the beauty of the Shaklee business, because I have 1 in preschool and I have 1 here, and I don't have to show up to a job, and it's crazy awesome. But really, what changed for me was my mindset, and I always talk about that with people. It's my mindset. And my 4-year anniversary is October, and it's just crazy to look back 4 years to now and what changed. Because a year ago, I was not a director, and now I'm a senior coordinator, and that's just kind of crazy awesome. So that just shows that anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. But what really changed for me is, hold on, got to go to another room. She followed me again. Sorry, guys.
You're doing fine. We can hear you good.
So what really changed for me was life circumstances, because really, when I started Shaklee, from one of Katie's Facebook posts, I was a new mom, and I think it just intrigued me, and I was just like, oh, this is cool. I think I need something, a fun side hobby, and it was fun, and it was a little extra money. I mean, that was cool. I love the products. Truly, I did not know so much about the science and the Shaklee difference. It wasn't something that I cared about. So I always mention, I'm so grateful for Shaklee, because I picked the right company and I just didn't know it. I didn't know all this amazing research until I just, kept doing more. But life circumstances happened, and just several things for about 1.5 to 2 years. It wasn't great, and it followed me into just my business, because I wasn't happy, and I was sad, and I was negative, and that really shows, through your business, and I just didn't realize it. And I was 7 months pregnant, and my husband got laid off work. And it's just crazy to be in that position, because I just thought, once I had finally gotten pregnant, I felt like everything was good, and, he has a good job, and he makes good money, and I never had to go to work when we had kids. I was always able to be a stay-at-home mom. So when you have that in your mind and you're like, I really don't need anything else, and I really don't need Shaklee, I kind of was at that point where I was like, I really don't need this, and that you just kind of let it go, which is funny because even when I let Shaklee go, I was still making a paycheck. I will always want to put that out there. That's what's so cool about Shaklee, that residual income. I wasn't a director. I wasn't like where I am now because I wasn't working, but I was like, oh, I just got checked. I didn't do anything. That's really cool. So once that happened and he got laid off, I was like, how is this possible? How is this possible? I have a master's degree. You have a master's degree, and we have absolutely nothing. Like, what is going on here? So I did not pursue Shaklee. I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and he did get a job. And that's when the light switch went on. And the light switch was that everybody needs a plan B. I don't care if you're a millionaire. You need a plan B, because there is nothing guaranteed, and there is no other job career, because this is my career. It's not my job. There's no other career out there with a pay structure like what we have, because this is residual, because I am getting paid for 4 years ago still. The same over, and that just, it clicked. I'm like, I just sat my husband and I go, we have a plan B. And Shaklee is going to be my vehicle for that. So I'm going to start doing this. And he's like, are you sure? Because I feel like you tried this and you're just not there. And I'm like, no, I'm going to do this. So like I said, you can only go up from down. And that's what I decided to do, was I'm going to continue to go up. So at that point, I remember calling Katie and being like, okay, I'm here. And she was probably like, oh boy, are you sure? Because Katie is a doll, and everybody is amazing in Shaklee. And I think that's when it really clicked for me, is that I had told Katie no for years. Like, every idea she would give me, I'd be like, I can't, no, I just can't do that. That's not going to work. People don't like this. And that is the biggest piece for me now in Shaklee, is that community, because I truly don't think I understood that community until it's a year ago when I revived my business. Is like, wow, she is here for me. Harper is here for me. Barb is here for me, no matter what. Like, no matter what. And it's just, you can't get that anywhere else. You just can't. When I attended regionals, I didn't know anybody. I'm in Massachusetts. Most of you guys are in Illinois. And I just reached out. I'm like, I need help. I need a roommate. And who was there? Ashley McDonald was there. She said, I'll be your roommate. She doesn't know me. She doesn't benefit from me. And that is when that golden rule comes in. That's like, be kindness. Kindness matters. Be kind to others. And that is why I love Shaklee, is the integrity, because people reach out to other people and you don't know them. And it's just like this kindred, like, friendship that you develop, and it's a community. And so I was starting to understand that, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I want to be a director now. I want to keep developing this community. I want to change people's lives. And my mindset just continued to move on. And when I got to that director point, I just thought, wow, I want a car payment now. And it just keeps going. When I attended Global, that's the funniest part for me, I think. I've been in Shaklee for 4 years, and this is my first Global ever. And I just remember telling myself, this is probably in January, well, if I can afford it, I'll go. If I do this, I'll go. And then I remember when I found out that the Kelly brothers were speaking, I just was like, I'm going, bought my ticket, and told my husband that we're just going to figure it out. Like, I'm going. The money isn't a thing, you know, and it's my mindset. I just said I was doing it. And it was so funny because guess what? My paychecks covered that. It worked because I said I was going to do it. Not like we'll see. I was 100% in. And then you attend Global. And I just can't get over the community piece. Like, every time I see pictures from Global, I just want to share Shaklee even more. I want my girls, my new girls that just became director, I want to see their success. I don't want to see my success. I want to see them succeed. And that is what Shaklee is all about. I get joy when I see others love what they do, change people's lives, and them succeed. And then the other piece of that is, what other company rewards you like Shaklee does? Because I certainly, as a teacher, I didn't get to walk across stage. I didn't get free purses and free bracelets or free trips. I didn't get, I mean, we definitely got training as a teacher, but not like what Shaklee offers. And the moment that I decided to go big, like go big or go home, I realized, Shaklee, this is my life. This is who I am. And nobody can take that from me. The only person that can take that is myself. If I quit, I can take that away from myself. But it's no longer, because my mind is 100% that this is my family. I can't even imagine if Shaklee was not part of my life. And that's how deep it becomes. And I think through that, that's how I've been able to develop and grow as fast as I'm growing, because everything, people relate to me and they're like, wow, Sarah can do it. I can do it. Wow, that's amazing. And I just want to continue to share this.
It's such your wonderful exuberance. And so, Sarah, also comment on something else that you told me about. You stopped worrying about what other people thought about you.
Oh, yeah. That's probably on the next slide, too. Yes, as females especially, I will put that there. I think we're in a society where we care so much about what people think, what we wear, what we do, how we speak, that we put this wall up. And I think I finally got to the point, and that's what, I mean, so changed with Shaklee and my life, is I no longer care what people think. That Shaklee is my life, and I'm going to change people's lives no matter what people judge me, say about it, but that's in all aspects. I just don't care anymore. Because if I'm not serving others, then I'm not doing the right thing. So I think that's a huge point for people, is I know, especially new builders too, this is really good, they get scared. And fear is only going to hold us back. It's jumping. It's jumping off that cliff and finally doing it and realizing, like, wow, they're not the rulers of your life. You're the ruler of your life. So if you are going by what people think of you, you are not going to grow. You're going to just stay there, and fear will hold you back.
Amen to that. And so, and then share also what you said, Sarah, about what happened to you when you became a mom.
Yes. Sorry, I don't think my slides are going, so I apologize.
It's all right. That's why I write it out. So
yes, I'm glad, because I had it up. My slides aren't moving, and the baby is crying, so I just moved to another room. I'm sorry. Okay. I am getting distracted. So
this is real life.
No, this is real life, and that's what I love. So you're going to have to, what was the question again? I'm sorry. I'm distracted by the baby crying.
You had told me when you became a mom that.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
When I became a mom, it kind of took my self-confidence away. And that's usually not what people expect, because, like, you have this picture of what mommyhood is going to be like, and then it's something different. Because you give 100% of yourself to your children, and you're no longer who you were. And sometimes it's a good change, and sometimes that can be hard. Oh, I love giving myself to my children. Love giving myself to my children. Love taking care of them. It's a dream. But there are days where I was just like, what else do I have, though? Like, what what do I have? Anything? I'm giving everything to them, and there's nothing for myself. And I think that's where I was at a year ago, because then I had a second child, and I realized Shaklee is my self-care. I'm taking care of myself through having something for myself to also share with others. And to even hear my husband tell me, I asked him about 2 months ago, I'm just like, this is where we always talk about the business and where are you at and how's it going? And I go, am I different than a year ago? Can you please tell me from like your perspective? Because I know you love me for who I am and you're always going to love me. And he's like, you are an entirely different person. I've never seen you more positive and caring and happy in our entire marriage.
Wow.
So, and that's what a business and friendships have done for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say that about, I love teaching. I love children and I love changing lives, but teaching never gave me that because it was so stressful. And Shaklee isn't like that for me. I mean, being real, I have bad days. I'm a real person. I have people tell me no, and sometimes I'm like, bummer drag. But inner me is like, you know what? I am serving them, and this is their choice. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm still going to know them. I'm still going to develop a relationship because kindness truly matters. And through doing this, it changed me as a mom. It just changed who I was. And my confidence is back because I'm like, I have something for myself that I can share with others as well.
Oh, beautifully put. And then just one last thing is you had these two new directors who showed up and zoomed up to director. And everybody wants to know, where did you find them and how did you approach them and how did you develop those directors? And so just tell them what happened with that. Sarah.
Are you there, Sarah?
Sarah.
Might have to go because of a baby, I have a feeling.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, what she told me was, and Katie, you can pop in here, is both of those people who became new directors approached her because of what they saw on Facebook and how she was sharing what her life. And she said it wasn't all, Shaklee stuff. It was about how happy she was in her life and about her kids and how fulfilled she was feeling and all of that. And she made this wonderful comment. I hope she comes back on, but she said, there's too much sadness in Facebook, which I thought was an interesting observation. And she said, I just wanted it to be a place that was joyful and bring, I'm just filled with all the positivity I feel about my life and about my business. And so that's what I put out there. And people saw that and they were attracted to it like a magnet. And, that's what we were talking about last week. That's what Laura Evans, Jim Rohn, quote was just about, is that success isn't something you pursue, it's something you attract. And she's like living proof of that. And then click to one more slide because we got to hop over to Katie, who's got about 4 minutes left. Katie, it's the last thing Sarah said to me, because I was interviewing of all of this and frantically writing down everything she was saying. And the last thing she said to me says, I'm just dying to be a master. And I thought, that is a beautiful thought, because she knows why she's dying to be a master. Mm-hmm. Not about the title, is it? It's about she realizes who she is becoming on the way to master and all the people she's serving and helping. It's just a beautiful story. Oh my gosh, what a session. Okay, Katie. Okay, Katie, over to you, and you've got about 5 minutes.
All right. Wow. Got about 30 minutes to pack into 5 minutes somehow.
I know. We'll give them. I mean, do what you can, and then we'll move this to another time because there's some really good stuff in this part.
So I think we hear Laura Evans' story and we hear Sarah's story, and what resonates for all of us is different pieces of their story. When I hear Laura Evans, it really hits home on the fact and the truth that I'm building something once and I'm going to be rewarded for years and years and years to come. And I had to write down so many things that she was saying because they were just so good that, this isn't a one-time, once rewarded business. This is a business where we work once and we will be rewarded on that over and over and over again. And Sarah's story, I think what's so amazing about Sarah's story is it shows the power of what your mindset can do for somebody. Because I am very passionate, like Laura said, about a lot of my time I actually spend coaching people with their mindset because so much of what we tell ourselves affects our business. And so what we were just thinking about to kind of wrap up our session this morning is to think through what stood out to you this morning. Why are you doing a Shaklee business? What are the long-term benefits of having a Shaklee business? And who can you share this with? I think it's a great opportunity for us, and you can click to the next slide, for us to be able to just really think through who is it that might resonate with Laura's story, who is it that might resonate with Sarah's story, but really get in touch with why we are in Shaklee. Why are you in Shaklee? Remember, Simon Sinek says, people care most why you do something and not what you're doing. So as we think about having a powerful reason, we want a powerful mindset as well, because when we have that transformed mindset that Sarah went through, you're going to experience brand new results. And somebody actually messaged me this past week and they said, what is going on in your team and what is it that has attributed to your growth? And I thought about it because initially I was like, I got to think through that. And I think what I realized is that leaders have caught hold of their why, and they have led with their why, and they have also matched that with their mindset, and they've seen results because they're so strong and so confident in why they're doing their business that nothing shakes them. When they get that no, when they get somebody that cancels their auto ship, their mind doesn't automatically start to think we all have those negative, like, oh, I can't, that's a bummer, that's discouraging. But they work through that and they become stronger. And Sarah worked through her hardships and she became stronger as a result of that. And same thing what Doug said. I have never seen this side of Sarah that is you should have seen her at Global. She literally, I felt like she was walking on air because she was just so excited and so enthusiastic and just eating everything up. And I think that's what's so amazing about our business. And so I would just encourage you to think, what kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a mindset that is geared towards a growth mindset where we are learning and where we persevere, when we challenge ourselves, and when we fail, we learn from those? Or are we in the mixed mindset? You think, telling yourself I'm not good at it, telling yourself that nobody's going to want to do the business with you, telling yourself that these products are too expensive, even things like that. That's all mindset. Or telling yourself I'm going to give up. This just isn't worth it. And so I really encourage you to think about that. And I also love and think about if you're on the scarcity thinking or abundance thinking. So scarcity thinking is, again, where we're limited in so many people are doing Shaklee, so it's over, populated. That's so far from the truth, but I've heard that recently. So many people in Shaklee. There's millions of people in this world. The more people in Shaklee, in my mind, the better, because we're just getting better products in the hands of more and more family. So abundance thinking is you approach it as, I wake up every morning and I know there's at least several people waiting for what Shaklee has to offer. You have right now, I've had conversations with people about who do you think would want to do the business with you? And sometimes people can't tell me anybody, sorry. And that goes, again, to this scarcity mindset, that people don't understand that people are needing this and are wanting it. And so, again, thinking about the scarcity mindset versus abundant mindset, the abundant mindset is open-minded plenty. This is where Sarah and Laura really are. The possibilities are endless for them. They attract more people because they have abundant thinking. And you know what's so interesting? In the midst of Sarah breaking out 2 new directors and growing like crazy, what is she still doing? She's still adding business builders to her team. She just added a brand new girl because when you are passionate about something and confident about something, you're going to attract those like-minded people as well. And we want that. We want the right people. Brooke Thomas always talks about this, that we don't just want anybody on our team. We want the right kind of people on our team. So on a scale of 1 to 10, really just thinking, where are we in our beliefs and our leadership ability? And now I realize I'm going over. So, Barb, do I need to wrap things up?
Well, you know what? Because this is really important material. We'll jump to the action steps because they're coming right up. Jump to the action steps, and then we'll tuck this in the next time you've got childcare. That's what that was about. So
I think just thinking through, one thing I just wanted to mention quickly is who's the ideal team player. I think that's really, really important for us as we hear this message to think through who do you want to share your why with. And those people are people that are passionate, hardworking, and emotionally intelligent. And we'll talk more about this in a couple weeks, but I think those 3 values are what I always look for, that they have a passion for health and wellness, that they have a strong work ethic, and then lastly, that they're able to connect with people, that they have people skills. So as we think through what our action steps for sharing the business today is, we are encouraging you to just think through some events that you can do to share some of your why with other people. So you could set up some business chats that are 30 minutes with 1 or 2 leaders sharing their story and health benefits, similar to a health chat, but this would be a business chat focused on highlighting some testimonials of what the business has done for people. We also have some great webinars that people can go to betterfuturestartstoday.net, and you can get a subscription there, and then you can hear some of the archived webinars that we have. And then some more action steps that we have are we can set up a 3-way call with our upline. This is one of my favorite ways to share the business, is setting up a 3-way call. I always find 3-way calls to be one of the most effective ways of really helping people to understand what Shaklee can do for them. We have wonderful video clips on Shaklee Effect. We can set up one-on-one appointments. We can set up Facebook events, in-home, online video conferences like Zoom. And then lastly, we're just going to close with this. One thing I encourage you, Laura Evans, Kristen Cunningham and I spoke last week, and we were so excited about setting this, I don't know what you want to call it, challenge, I guess, of thinking about why I Shaklee? Why are you in Shaklee? What's your reason? What is your why? And so we started just posting these videos, and we encourage you, I'm going to do mine today, to think about why you're doing Shaklee, and then keeping it around 2 to 3 minutes, and then post it on Facebook and challenge somebody else on your team to share as well. And how amazing is this going to be when we blow up everybody's newsfeed about why they're doing Shaklee? Because again, remember, people don't care what we're doing; they care why we're doing something. And so you can check out Laura Evans. Laura Evans already did hers, and a couple other people posted theirs in 100 Days to Amazing. But we just thought this is a great opportunity too to show other people why we're in Shaklee.
Excellent.
Lovely. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, click through this. We'll come back to some of these and the next time Katie's able to be with us. And so the main thing is, after hearing these powerful stories, the question is, what do we do with these stories now that we have heard them? You want to start right away today sharing them with people. So let people know, I heard the most beautiful story today, and I thought of you, and I just, may I tell you about it? And you tell them about Laura's story, you tell them about Sarah's story, you tell them about your story and why you do this, and say, I don't know why you came to mind that, but I just pay attention when that happens, and I wanted you to know about this. Maybe it's something that would be important for you to know. Maybe it's someone that you that you know who should know about this, but may I tell you about it? I just think there's something so honest and true about that, and these beautiful stories. And as soon as these are archived, gosh, don't you just want everybody you know to hear what we heard today? It was so lovely. So with that, we're going to wrap. Go to questions. Becky is, I haven't.
Francine, can you see them yet? Can you see questions too?
I can. Really, there's not as many questions as there's just kudos. People are just raving about this training and just how wonderful it was, and they like more of the same. They really like that. The only question, and this perhaps was a Laura Evans question, although maybe Barb, you know, back when Laura was talking, somebody asked if there was any reason that when something is on back order, that we in the field don't know the reason for that all the time. So anyway, that was just a technical question, but just really lots of great comments.
Oh, everybody was really relating. And Marianne said, Sarah, she just so appreciated your story, and just tears filled her eyes when she heard you speaking and about being a mom. And we do give so much of ourselves to our children. And Annette loved the quote, Shaklee business became my self-care. And when Sarah was sharing that, I just thought how great that not only do the products help us, like when we are a mom with a new baby, you know, we don't know how much nutrition we are needing or lacking. And that not only the products can, but then the person you become in doing this business and figuring these things out, it just all spills over to your whole life. And that's why her husband said, you're a completely different person than you were, because you can't help but learn these things for your business, you know, how to respond positively, how to keep thinking, just what Katie was talking about with the abundance thinking, and that just spills over. And so you're just a lovely person to be around. You know, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to live.
And the whole point of what Katie was sharing is that we could hear that. I mean, I remember 4 years ago having conversations with Sarah, and she did not have that passion, that fulfillment, that total clarity about what her life is about now. She was quite lost. She told me that she used those words, felt helpless and felt powerless. And moms have told us this many times, that somehow in the care of this child, all of a sudden they kind of lose themselves sometimes. And what she was able was to find herself. And so it's just a good time for self-examination on our part to see, you know, have we found our voice? Have we found our purpose? Are we clear about what we stand for? Because when we are irresistible in terms of what we are putting out there and the clarity, and people are attracted to that kind of energy. I remember that last television program that Oprah Winfrey did. She said something I'd never heard before, and she said, be responsible for the energy you bring to the room. And think about the energy that both Laura and Sarah brought to our web room today that we feel. I mean, that's how human beings react with one another. We are energy people, and we transfer that energy and that belief. So it's just a really good time for us to look at ourselves and see how we doing in that regard ourselves, you know. And the challenge, Katie, I love that. What a great time today. It isn't the 2 to 3 minutes to make the video sharing why we have our Shaklee business. It's the hour beforehand it takes to think it through about why we have our Shaklee business and how do I feel about my purpose in life. You know, and is it time for me to get more focused around that? That's really cool. This was sensational. Thank you for all of your remarks. This sometimes, you know, people just come together right at the right timing. And so love you all. We will be here again next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we have another very special guest, Charlene Fike, who's a Presidential Master Coordinator. And I was having a conversation with her about how she shares the benefits of that dream plan. And there's some things she talks about that we don't always have a discussion about here. And so I thought it's important that you hear that, and also the fact that because of the Shaklee business, she and her husband are able to do this full-time nonprofit work and have for decades because of Shaklee. And so it's a different story, and it's a beautiful story about what, how the ripples of our work just go out to help people in the farthest edges of the world. It's really, really beautiful. So don't miss next week either. It's going to be very good. Thank you, everybody, and we'll get this all out to you as soon as possible. Everybody needs to hear today's session. All right, love you all. Thank you. Thanks, Barb. Team. Thanks, Tina. Okay, bye-bye. Slides, because Pam, I am so really grateful to you for the work that you did on compiling all of, I mean, there are a lot of deals in Shaklee that, I meant to remove that top line. Okay, we'll do that one afterwards. There's so many deals, and they're not easy to find, but there is significant savings. And when we can know what these deals are, we can also be better advocates for our customers. So Pam took the time to put this all together. Thank you. So Pam, just walk us through what you found.
Sure. Okay. The first thing is a list, and before I get into this, all this information is going to be available in a flyer or a printed document format that we will attach at Learning from the Masters on the Facebook page. So don't worry about taking pictures of this and getting it all down. It's going to be printable for you, so you can put it in plastic sheet protectors and put it in your presentation book or have it with you at meetings to refer to quickly. Anytime you're ordering, right, it's a ready reference for us. So we have those already with pretty headings that look nice and all that. So that will be posted today on the Learning from the Masters Facebook page. So look for that later, and don't stress now. Just receive this. Okay, so 14 collections qualify for free membership, and those are just listed there. I'm not going to read through all of them. Life Plan, of course, Vitalizing Plan, Essentials Plan. And LifeShake Family Pack for sure. That's probably my favorite thing, other than Vitalize or that's available on AutoShip only. That LifeShake Family Pack. We're going to talk about that in a couple more slides. But also important to know that the Vitalizer and 1 can of shake also is the Foundation's regimen. I forgot about that. I forgot that we had these Healthy Solution ones. Schucel, Vivix, MindWorks, and Omega Guard together. That gets a free membership. I forget about some of these things that we sell individually that are actually in collections. So this is the list. We're all clear on that, how to get free memberships, and for sure, Vitalizer for sure. So those are on there. The turnaround kit gets free membership also. Don't go back, you're good. Okay, 3 collections that earn a $10 coupon for any product when you put these products on AutoShip. Life Plan gets a coupon. They earn a $10 coupon to be used on their next AutoShip. That's important. So if you set new member Susie up on a membership today in September on AutoShip, then as soon as that ships out, it will generate a coupon that will go on her AutoShip page. It'll show at the top that she's qualified for a $10 coupon for a product of her choice up to $100 retail price. And that is available on her next AutoShip, so it will be in October or November. She has 60 days to use that coupon, and that shows up there on the Manage AutoShip page. So there are 3 product collections that earn that $10 coupon. The Life Plan, the Prescription for Healthier Life with LifeStrip, which is LifeStrip, a shake canister, and Nutrifuron. They're nicely pictured at the bottom. And thank you for whoever put those graphics on there. And also RX for Healthier Life with Vitalizer. So that's Vitalizer, Vivix, Shake Canister, and Nutrifuron. So those are great options to get that $10 coupon. And I tell people a lot of times, get this if you're getting the Life Plan. Remember, you can get a $10 product next auto ship, and you might want to consider getting a Vitalizer for your husband. Get an expensive product. Somebody who's got like a calcium or like Osteomatrix or a vitamin C. I'm like, really? Get a Vivix, get a Vitalizer, get the bang for your buck. At least get a MindWorks, or look at these expensive products. You can, or get the pricier ones to get the value. So I often encourage them to get a Vitalizer for their spouse, because then they can feel good too. Okay, there are a couple items also that earn a $10 coupon for a can of shakes. So you get a can of shakes of your choice for $10 if you purchase a Life Strip. Or there's an interesting little product code number that many don't know about called Vivix and Vitalizer together. My parents were ordering two Vitalizer Golds every month, and I encouraged them to try some Vivix for some things that they were dealing with. And so I was like, oh, I'll just throw Vivix on your auto ship. And then it occurred to me that I need to put that under item code number 89090 to trigger that coupon to be generated. Otherwise, I would be buying Vitalizer and Vivix separately and not getting that coupon. So now they can get a shake for $10. You see that? So that's Vivix and Vitalizer together. That's a sleeper special. So that's a good one. Okay, these items, this is a list of the items that qualify for 10% auto ship discount. And it's just, I'm not going to read through it, but all these items get 10% discount on auto ship.
It's a lot. It's a lot of items.
And there's a handy, this will be on a handy printed out sheet, a document for you to have at your desk or to have in your presentation. And it's just great to show people. Throw this order on auto ship and you can save 10% on all that. That adds up. That stuff adds up. Okay, there are also two special multi-packs that many are not aware of. The EasyJest 3-pack, this is a one that's hardly anyone knows about. But if you order EasyJest,
I didn't know about that, and that people love that product.
Yeah. And you never have enough. You run out, and if other people in their family start using it, you take one or two per meal or whatever, and all of a sudden your bottle's gone. It's not a high count bottle. So $10 off if you order it in a 3-pack. That's kind of just a nice little
big savings. Yeah.
And it's over $3 a bottle. So and then the Nutrifuron Share It 4-pack, that allows you a 10% savings on Nutrifuron without buying it on auto ship. If you put that item on auto ship, you do not get an extra 10% off the savings. So if somebody's not on auto ship and they just need that in lieu of the flu shot, for example, at this time of year, you can sell these and they're getting 10% off if they buy it in a 4-pack. So just FYI. Okay, this is a neat slide, and it's how to save money on Life Shake. And we do a lot of smoothie workshops, and we sell a lot of protein. And I love this Life Shake family pack. It's one of my favorite ways to get protein out to people. And I like it particularly because it's the lowest. It allows you to purchase Life Shake for the lowest possible price. So I show there the canister price and the pouch price. And you save $8.10 over the cost of two when you buy the pouches. If you buy it in a bag versus the canister. And I promote that also not just for financial savings and better, but the packaging is less, and Shaklee passes that savings on to us instead of 2 cans, having 1 bag. And I also tell them that when their product, as they use the product, the size of the packaging goes down and they're covered and it takes up less space. Nothing like a canister of shakes with 2 servings in it. That's like wasted space. So people are space conscious. You can roll that bag down and it just keeps getting smaller as you use the product. So I just love the pouches. So those are the cost per servings there, but look at the savings.
The savings are gigantic.
And it's $2.40 per serving. That's amazing for a meal. You know, it's just amazing. So I just wanted to call that up to your attention, and it's just the best way promote this thing. It's on AutoShip, and that's kind of a blessing because it gets people on AutoShip and they get comfortable with that Manage AutoShip page. And I just think it's awesome. So I'm going to go now because Moira has stuff to say. So no problem.
Morning, Moira.
Good morning, Moira. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for having me on here. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about some other direct selling companies and kind of what I've learned over the years. And, you know, I've been in a lot of networking groups over the years, and I used to kind of shy away from other direct selling companies because I didn't want to talk to them or do one-on-ones or get to know them because I kind of saw them as competition. But over the years, I've learned that there can be a lot of value in just getting to know them and getting to know what excites them about their business, and sometimes partnering with them to do joint events so that we can get to know the people that they know and introduce, Shaklee to them. And, as I tell my kids is that when you meet other people, you can either learn how you want to be or how you don't want to be. So I have kind of used that too as I've gotten to met other different reps from other companies. So a couple of the ones that I wanted to mention today before I talk about what I really love about Shaklee is a couple of ones that are pretty popular in my area these days. So LuLaRoe is a very fast-growing direct selling company that sells leggings, yes, but they do have dresses and shirts and maxis and all those kind of things. But the leggings are cool. It's very vibrant colors. It's super comfortable, inexpensive, a great value, those type of things. And a couple of my distributors on my team have had joint parties with them. And they've been quite successful. So I thought I'd give it a try too. So again, through a networking event, I met a LuLaRoe representative. So I called her and said, hey, would you like to go together on having a meeting, and we'll do a look good, feel good kind of meeting. And I'll have it at my house, and you bring your stuff, and you invite your friends, I'll invite my friends, those kind of things. So I learned a lot from, about this LuLaRoe company and what it takes to be a distributor. Very, very large investment. You have to, the minimal starter kit is $5,400 because you buy all your inventory. There's no catalog that you bring and say, here's the catalog, so here's a few samples, and then if you see something you like, try it on, and then you can order from the catalog. There's no catalog to order from. You have to have all of your inventory with you. Wow. So your sales is dependent on what you have with you when you come and do a pop-up boutique. They call them pop-up boutiques. She, interestingly enough, borrows her father's expedition, and she fills it to the brim with bags and bags of clothing and clothing racks and brought them into my house and filled up my family room. So that's a lot. I mean, that takes a lot of sweat and it takes a lot of money. I asked about training, as she stayed after guests left, and we talked a little, I asked some questions, and I said, what about your training? And she said that there isn't any training really because the products sell themselves because they're so popular. But again, you have to take the inventory to each one of the events. And interestingly enough, she said, as I asked about other reps, I said, there's a lot of other reps. And she said, well, people sometimes work with other reps because we don't get the same inventory. So it's not like, okay, it's cut from the, you order 10 leggings and they're giraffes, butterflies, and flowers. You just order 10 leggings and you get whatever you get. And so people do tend to say, oh, I love that butterfly legging. I'd like to have it in a skirt. And so then they try to find another rep. So again, it doesn't really lend to loyalty to in that relationship that we like to build. And as I told other people, I mean, I love, if you know me, I love cool clothes. I love vibrant colors. I love that. But I see this as we can help somebody change their wardrobe, but really not change their health. So again, that's just a little bit of information about LuLaRoe. Now, 31 Bags and Gifts is another one that's popular in my area. And I've also had a joint party with a gal who was from my school and, started selling 31 bags. Pretty low investment. And as we've talked about it, and I've looked into their plan, you do rank advance as you book parties, as you sell products, and as you sponsor people in to be distributors as well. Again, joining their team. But you got to have the inventory, the samples for the home parties. Again, similar to Shaklee, because we're going to display products out there as well. But they really do encourage you to get people together in somebody's home to do, a get-together so they can touch and feel the products and versus the online sales because it's kind of hard to see the colors and things like that. So this gal is very busy in doing meetings at other people's homes as well as in her home. And really, when you look at it, these are wonderful products. I love these products. I mean, I use it for my beach bag, for my laundry bag. You know, my daughter uses the cooler bags to take lunch to work and marching band and things like that. They're great products. I love them, and I love those leggings, I got to tell you. But again, they're not very consumable. You know, they last a long time, and that's part of what they sell, is that these are really durable products. So they last a long. So you either have to hope that the company comes out with lots of new products and new styles, or you've got to get new customers all the time, you know, as opposed to Shaklee that's got all of these great. So when I look at, you know, the Shaklee and the Dream Plan, I mean, it's called the Dream Plan for a reason. And Laura Evans is going to share that with us as we go on in this call. But it really, it's, as they call it, it's a breakaway plan. So we want to, you know, as we know, we want to help to find people that want to join us in the business. We duplicate our business. We help them promote and, you know, grow a team, and they break out from underneath us. I continue to tell other people, as I talk about what I love about Shaklee, is the community. I love the products. You know, they have changed people's lives. They've had a huge impact on my life. And because of that, as Roger said, in Orlando, I feel like I have an obligation to share that with other people, because it made such an impact on our lives. I am hoping that, you know, there's a lot of people that need what we have, and it could make an impact on their lives. You know, these products are backed by science. There's proof out there. There are studies out there. And, you know, when you meet people in networking events and whatnot, and you mention Shaklee, they're like, wow, that company's been around for a long time. And that's very important. It's been around for a long time, and there's a reason for that. Companies don't last in this industry unless there's something really good behind it. You know, there are infinity bonuses paid, which some other compensation plans do not have. That means more money for us. There's an opportunity. I haven't heard that in these other companies. There's an opportunity to earn trips and to earn cars and these fast track bonuses where you can get extra money as you get going a little bit faster. I think that this speaks volumes to Shaklee and the company, as there really hasn't been a product recall or any class action lawsuits that have been kind of a black mark against the company. And they're highly consumable. You know, they're products that people use and need every day. And so as they consume them, they're going to need more. And so we can start, as Pam said, we can start somebody out with protein, but then we can talk to them about vitamins. We can talk to them how they can change their products to the green cleaners. We can talk to them about skincare products. We can talk about, you know, so many more other products with that one particular customer that we continue to develop a relationship and invite them into our
really
community.
Nice. Very nice.
And I think
Moira,
really most importantly, cells, you know, our cells need vitamins, minerals, and proteins. They don't necessarily need bags and leggings and oils and things like that.
And you know, Moira, the thing is that what's the average length of a Shaklee customer? It was 17 years.
Like 17 years or something years. Like that.
But who's buying these? Who's buying these hard goods? And those hard goods, you have to work for every sale. You have to work for those sales almost.
Locking all that stuff to the
coming.
So when I look at digging my feet into staying with a company for a long time, the Shaklee is a place that I feel grounded in. I know that the company's going to be around, but again, because these products are changing people's lives, and changing my life, that's, you know, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about continuing to feel better, but to help other people come into this community that we have, help to change their life, and you know,
it's important. It's important. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Pam, for doing all the compilation of all the deals, and thank you, Moira, for that overview about, you know, some of the other people options. Who have direct sales home businesses, and it's just good for us to know, you know, what are the highs, the pluses and the minuses of each one. So Becky, let's do a 3, 2, 1, and we'll get started for today.
All right. 3, 2, 1.